is on. The only difference in this drag race is you've only got two wheels. Engines revving, smoke flying, and adrenaline pumping action. This is one wild ride. With speeds approaching 220 miles per hour, these Harleys scream down the track and command attention. The series that brings you racing you've never seen before has done it again, and it's all next on Speed. As we bring you to IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park, for the Joker Machine Indy Nationals, presented by Indianapolis Southside Harley Davidson. The class today, Pro Fuel, coupled up with Pro Mod. These guys are bad to the bone. And speaking of bad to the bone, take a look at the man standing next to me. That is Jack Romine. He's won his first ever championship in Pro Fuel. How did he do that? Well, let's talk about the AHDRA for a moment. They have a total of 14 races, but you only have to claim 8 as a racer. Obviously, you want to claim your 8 best races. Well, this is the 12th race on the series, and this is Jack's 10th race this year. And what did he claim? Well, obviously, the previous 7 where he went to the finals. He's won 5 of those. He's had a phenomenal year, no question about it, and for that, he wins a championship. This is an unbelievable class, though. These guys run a full load of nitromethane. That's right, it is eye-burning stuff, and you're going to be excited here today. But with more on the specifics of Pro Fuel, let's go to our pit reporter, Jeff Fisher.
Ken, you're right. These bikes are awesome, but they do have some limitations. A maximum on the engine, 151 cubic inches. The tires, they cannot be any more than 13 inches wide. No transmission, all running high gear. Now, as far as getting down the track, they can really get into the 6s, so you'll see some passes around 200 miles an hour. Very similar to a Top Fuel, Jay Turner, a guy that runs in this class, 2-time Top Fuel champ, looking for a championship in Pro Fuel, hoping to get that technology learned in Top Fuel to get it done in this class.
All right, Pro Fuel round number 1 action coming your way. You can see the ladder there, how they pair up. Some really tough competitors inside of this class, and it really is very cool. In fact, some of the Top Fuelers think that maybe the single gear, the high gear only transmission might be the way of the future. A couple of very tough competitors coming up here. In the far lane will be John Martin. In the near lane, Armin Furr, who is son of legendary Top Fuel racer Bill Furr. And what a nice looking pass for John Martin. Got a little out of shape at the start, but I'll tell you, once he got it straightened up, man, it picked the front tire up and marched right on down through there. Nice lap, 680, 200 miles an hour, and he'll move into the semifinals. Next up, Jay Turner and Sam White. Sam White in the near lane. Jay Turner in the far lane actually competed in 2 categories here this weekend. And Turner actually comes back and drives around him. What a save. Jay Turner, who's also running in Top Fuel this weekend. We talked about him running 2 categories. Will go on board right here. And this is with White. And you can see White had to lead there for a little bit, and then eventually the Bulldog, Jay Turner, came flying by. Next up, the man that's won the championship, Jack Romine, will line up alongside Chris Streeter. Romine in the near lane. And Romine trying to keep control of that thing. You can see him dragging his feet up there at the other end. No parachutes on this one as he tries to get it slowed down. But he goes 688, 178 miles an hour, and he'll move into the semifinals, and he'll race one of these guys, either Bill Bertolette or Dan Goldmeyer. Pre-stage, you can see the top bulbs are on the Christmas tree. The bottom bulb comes on. That would indicate that they are staged. The 4/10 Pro Tree. Oh, and problems on the far side. It looked like Bertolette had this one locked up, and you could see it just lost power right in the middle of the track. Now we're going to switch categories and go into the Pro Modified class, where we have 14 qualified bikes. Great racing going on in this particular division as well. You'll be able to see the entire ladder here, both sides of it, and eventually we'll get down to just 2 and find out who's going to go away from here with a win at Indianapolis Raceway Park. First pair, Junior Pippin and Herb Dewitt. Junior Pippin, your number 1 qualifier, will take on the number 14 qualifier. Dewitt line up in the near lane. And Pippin just destroys him. The Dewitt having some problems down through there, was not able to keep up or run the number. Actually, pretty close to his qualified number, believe it or not, but just struggling there and nowhere near the performance for Pippin. Next up, Darren Molden and Chris Harris. Darren Molden, as you look at him right there, finished 3rd 1 season ago. And once again, no contest here as Molden's competitor, Harris, having some problems. You can see he put his hand up there, basically indicating he's okay, just needed to get to the other end. Molden will move into the quarterfinals. Eddie Lee and Lance Bonham. Lance out of Sunnyvale, California, made a pretty long trek to get over here to IRP. Waiting for Bonham to stage the bike in the far lane. And Bonham all over the place. Bonham trying to get back around him. It's not going to happen. Lee will advance on. A nice lap, 8:58, 152 miles an hour. Once again, you can see Bonham just spins the tire violently. The bike fishtails around on him a bit. That could have cost him the race right there. All right, we'll continue on here to the other side of the ladder. Out of Uniontown, Ohio, Paul Smith, he'll take on Jim Perkins. Perkins will line up in the far lane. Perkins out of Newburgh, Indiana. And Perkins struggling all the way through that particular race. Reaction time way off the mark, along with the ET being down a little bit, will hand Smith to win. And Smith will move on into the quarterfinals. You see Perkins way over there, gets way out of the group, comes over towards the center of the track. And Paul Smith, well, he went right down the boulevard. Well, you're looking at Sean Reno, and Sean's looking over at his competitor, Dale Roddenbush, and basically what they do is they'll make eye contact with each other at both the start of the burnouts and then when they get ready to pre-stage the bike to make sure that the other competitor is ready to go. They don't want to hang these guys out. A lot of camaraderie here with the AHDRA. Excellent race right there. Reaction time's relatively close. ET's very close, but the win will go to Sean Reno as he'll advance into the next round and take on Paul Smith. Look at these guys, baby, side by side. Oh, man, just that close. That's awesome racing right there. Okay, the next pair will be Cliff Dwy out of Madras, Oregon, and then coming out of Columbus, Indiana is George Walls. You hear the cackle of the V-twins. Walls sat at the starting line for the better part of a half a second. You just can't do that, especially in this class. So the win will go to Cliff Dwy. He'll move into the quarterfinals, and he'll race the winner of our next pair, either Brett DeGood or Bruce Beltramini. Beltramini out of Fort Worth, Texas. And then, of course, from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania will be his competitor, DeGood. Both racers taking a set. You can see him crouched down there. And Beltramini owns this one, 876, 149 miles an hour. It looked like Brett the Good rolled through and ended up deep staging just a little bit and then had more problems after he let out the clutch. So just wasn't the round he was looking for. All right, let's go right into Pro Mod round number 2. Awesome looking paint job there. Darren Molden and Eddie Lee. Eddie Lee out of Douglasville, Georgia. And coming all the way from Mesa, Arizona is Darren Molden. He'll line up in the near lane. Eddie Lee with that awesome paint job we saw just a moment ago. And Darren Molden gets to win here, 843, 154 miles an hour. He'll go to the semifinals. Paul Smith and SHAUN RENO, they're on the other side of the ladder. We'll take care of that pair. As you take a look at SHAUN RENO. Last time out, SHAUN laid down an 862, 150 miles an hour. He's also the number 7 qualifier. And SHAUN in a dogfight here, and he's not going to come out on top. Paul Smith, 838, 154 miles an hour. That is a nice lap for him as he moves into the semifinals. Now Cliff Dwyer and Bruce Beltramini. On paper, Dwyer should have the advantage here. Ran at 841 in round number 1. Beltramini laid down an 876, so Beltramini's going to have to find some here. Beltramini breaks. They're pushing back off the line. This will be a competition single going to Cliff Dwyer. And Cliff staying very consistent, runs 8.400. In fact, picks up about 0.010 of a second. Well, as you can see, Beltramini there struggling with the bike, looking for neutral. While they push him back out of the way, we'll send it over to Jeff.
It takes a lot to put on an AHDRA event, and you can't do it without great sponsors. We have a great one here in Indianapolis. It's Joker Machine. Jeff and Diane Arnold, the owners. And Jeff, why do you get involved with this great event?
Well, we're the manufacturer of Harley Davidson products, and coming to the races gives us the opportunity to kind of see what's out there and develop new products. This is truly the test to see if your product does survive, and gives us an opportunity to just be out here having a great time. And we love the bike industry, and we're proud to be associated with folks like Tom Bradford, and it's just a great bunch of people, and this is our customer base.
Well, obviously you're happy with Tom. Let's see if Tom's happy with the relationship, and I know you are, Tom Bradford. What's it like to be involved with Joker Machine?
Oh, it's awesome. I can't say enough about the relationship that we have with Jeff and Diane and the Joker Machine Company. You know, they're a top-notch championship company that our championship team needs to have on board, and we're just happy every day to have these guys at our disposal and to be able to run their products. And
Fuel. This will be a great battle to find out who's going to make it down to the final 2 right there at the top of the ladder. That will be our first pair. John Martin out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Didn't have to drive too far to get the IRP here. And Jay Turner comes here out of North Carolina. And Jay Turner had the better of the 2 reaction times, but it was John Martin who drove back around him, a 683, 199 miles an hour. And on the other side of the ladder will be Dan Goldmeyer and Jack Romine. The burnout's in progress there. John Martin has made it to the finals. He'll compete against one of these 2 guys for the win here at IRP. And you can hear a quick bobble of the throttle there. Romine has problems, and Goldmeyer's going to the finals.
John, top qualifier, an 80 and an 83 in the first 2 rounds. You've been very, very consistent. Just been dialed in all weekend?
Yeah, I mean, the bike's running great. We love this place. It's our hometown, you know. We brought a bunch of good people. We got to put on a good show.
That's for sure. Now, in the final, what do you have to do to take this thing?
Well, you know, Brian's going to put clutch in there, and Jake's going to put some fuel in there. And I'm
It's as simple as that.
It's that easy.
The one thing we know for sure is the guy right over here is the guy that's going to dial this thing in properly. That's Jake Storter, and if you recognize the last name, that's real easy because his father is Steve Storter. Yes, the guy from Top Fuel.
And Steve Storter, who races team bike, actually, for Johnny Mancuso. Both of those guys very, very tough competitors. So you're right, the kid has grown up around drag racing. Okay, here we go. Let's go back into Pro Mod. This will be the semifinals. Once again, you're looking at Junior Pippin there. He'll line up alongside Darren Mulder this time. Molden in the near lane. Nice drag race, both guys very close at the starting line. Look at those reaction times, just 1/1000th of a second away from each other, but it'll be Junior Pippin who gets the win here. 8:27.9, 156 miles an hour. That's his best ET of the weekend so far. Nice lap for him. So the guy's just getting stronger as he gets down to the finals. Now, who will he race? Will it be Cliff Dwight or will it be Paul Smith? Paul Smith last time out laid down an 8:38 at 154 miles an hour, while Dwight laid down an 8:40 at 153 miles an hour. So this one should be very close. And another great race as Paul Smith gets the nod at both ends of the track. And we're going right at it right now. Pro Mod Finals coming at you. Junior Pippin and Paul Smith. Should be a great battle, but Paul Smith's going to have to find some ET inside of that bike. Pippin's been a little bit quicker all day long. Paul Smith out of Uniontown, Ohio, will line up here in the near lane. Junior Pippin in the far lane's already got the top bulb on. The finals are at stake. Who's going to win it in Pro Mod? A big starting line advantage to Paul Smith in the near lane. And he hangs on to win it by 44,000ths of a second. Pippin lays down an 8:31 and loses to an 8:41. Paul Smith doing his job at the starting line.
Your 8:41 beat his 8:31 on a hole shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I knew he had us covered by a little bit. I knew we had to cut a really good light on him, and I never saw him. We left, he looked at my tail light, and hopefully my brake light was working. So happy. I mean, we've worked real hard on this Team Freedom Racing winning combination motorsports Buell, and we've come a long way with it this year, and we finally put it to the winner's circle. Not only that, we beat Junior Pippin.
Now we're ready for the finals in Pro Fuel. John Martin got past Armand Furr. He also got past Jay Turner to make his way into the finals. And then on the other side of the ladder is Dan Gomeyer. He beat Bill Bertolette and Jack Romine to make his way into the final two. John Martin, Dan Gomeyer out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. We heard him talking about his crew just a moment ago. There's a hotbed of racers up there in the Wisconsin area. And look at that front tire, baby, way up in the air. And this is going to be all John Martin. 720, 171 miles an hour. The performance falling way off, but it won't matter here. All that matters is that you get across the stripe first. One more look at it. Look at that front tire just power up onto the wheelie bars for John Martin. We'll go on board. What's it like to ride one of these things? Hold on, baby. It's quite a ride. Let's talk to our winner.
First off, congratulations, running 680s all week. Now you get the 720. You were there for the taking.
Yeah, man, it dropped a hole about halfway down the track, but I guess we managed to squeak it out. We've got a killer group of people here with us this weekend, and we thank everybody.
Time to go celebrate?
Yes, it is.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Next time, we'll go sand drag racing. Yes, with nitro and pedal tires. For Jeff Fisher, I'm Ken Stout. And remember, you're just not living unless you're on the edge.